Friends, let me start with a confession. In 24 years of my career as a police officer, I never had a very high opinion about NGOs. In fact, when the NGO movement started in India, all of us we had very high hopes from them. But somehow, for various reasons, they have not been able to live up to the expectations of the people. However, in last 1 year, especially after this lockdown in March 2020, my opinion, my lens, you can say, towards the NGOs has changed. I could see the importance of social work, community service, and these organizations which can actually go with the government in a partnership mode and help people at large, which is more required in a difficult situation, in a crisis situation like COVID, which we are having today. I'm going to talk about an organization like this. Name is India Cares. This is a digital initiative. Now, I must also tell that this organization has also changed the definition of NGO. So you can say that another change of lens, because when we talk about an NGO, we think of an office, a structure, some people who are office bearers, then maybe a bank account, some money, SOPs, rules, regulations. But here you have an organization which has no office, which exists only in virtual space. There is no money involved, no cash at all. Nobody is kind of a office bearer. All are volunteers. I am also one of them among 4,000 others. There are no rules, regulations, and still you see that's the beauty of the thing is that everything is on virtual space, but it's still functioning very beautifully and helping hundreds of people every day, and thousands have got help in last 1 year. Now I'll tell you one very interesting story. One NRI, an NRI in Dubai, last year he got some help from India Cares. I am forgetting exactly what was the help given to him, but he was very happy with the support, and he wrote a beautiful kind of thanking note in a mail, and he said that he is very happy, he was grateful, and lastly he said that when he is coming to India next time, he would like to visit India Cares headquarters. So in our virtual, because we all meet in the virtual space only, we were actually laughing that where this person, we can invite this person, because there is no office, there is no place where we can actually invite him and give him a cup of tea. So this is how this organization has functioned. Interestingly, there was no scheme, no plan, no design to start such an organization ever. So how it started? I am little active on Twitter, and being a police officer, people keep asking me for help, otherwise also. When this lockdown started in March 2020, these requests for help started increasing, because people required, the lockdown as we know it was very sudden and very strict. People started asking for ration, sometimes for medicines, and many times for passage, because people in emergency situations they required to go from one place to another place, mostly and more importantly from one state to other state. So when the requests started increasing, I opened my DM and said that whatever, rather than tagging me, you can send me a DM so that I can do whatever I can. And I was flooded, but more importantly, and happily so, I would say about 20% of the DMs were asking to extend help rather than asking help. Say 80% people were asking help, as I mentioned, but many people started sending messages that they also want to join me in helping others. This was very heartening and unexpected. So then somebody, one of my friends, she suggested that why don't you create a digital platform where these people who are asking for help and the people who want to help, they can come together, and this can be a bridge, and we can help more and more people. That's how the idea started. Last year we have about 2,500 volunteers working for this. This year in the second phase, second wave as we say, the number has gone up to 4,000. Now these people are scattered across India. In almost every state we have somebody, and there are people abroad also. Now another thing very interesting, which is not in a regular NGO fashion, is that 99% of the people working with the organization have never met each other physically. So they know each other, they work hours together for last 1 year, help lot of people, they laugh together, they cry together, they feel very joyous when some assignment is completed, they feel pained when you fail to help somebody whom you are trying to save, but the person unfortunately expires. Then the pain is kind of spreads across the organization, but they have never met each other physically. That's another very interesting part of it. This experiment of India Cares has also changed the lens, or I would say perception about civil servants. In our society, there are a lot of negative ideas about civil servants, how they function, about their performance. But here in this organization, there are a number of civil servants from police, from civil administration, from forest department, and many other departments, railways also, who are working side by side, hand in hand with the common people, civilians like IT professionals, students, housewives, advocates, journalists, and what not. Of course, all of us, we are working in personal capacity, but the fact is that ultimately we are civil servants. So this partnership, of course, away from the offices, partnership between civil servants and the common citizens has also changed a lot of perceptions, lot of lenses in last 1 year. I'll give you one example. A very touching incident I'm just sharing with all of you. A child of about 12 years age in Delhi, in a park, somebody saw the child. One lady who used to go to feed dogs there, she saw one child in the park for 2-3 days continuously. Now she got alarmed, of course, why the child is there. When they found that the parents of the child, they had gone to Bihar for some reason, and meanwhile this lockdown took place and they could not come back. This child and his siblings, they were staying in a rented house. That house owner threw them out because he was not getting rent, and this child somehow came to this park and he was staying there with dogs and having food whatever people were giving him. Now this information through social media, it came to us. Of course we got alarmed because a young child staying with dogs in a park in Delhi, it was a very difficult situation. Immediately, with the help of local police there in Delhi, we found about the whereabouts of the parents. Then one of my batchmates, he was IG SSB, Seema Suraksha Bal in Bihar, Sanjay Kumar. We requested him, and Sanjay traced his parents, sent a team there, brought them to a nearby railway station. Railway officers helped us because that time not many trains were actually operating. So railway officers helped getting the tickets done, tickets confirmed. Then this family was brought to Delhi. At Delhi railway station, SSB officers, they received the family. They took them to these parents to the park, and this child was reunited with the parents. And it was very emotional moment, not only for the family, not only for the child, but even for the officers and for all of us who were kind of watching or keeping track of the entire movement. Now, if you see in this particular story, everybody came together. Everybody came together. The local volunteer, that housewife who was feeding the child, one lady named Sneha, she was a Now she is a volunteer with India Cares, but that time she was a volunteer there, working in her independent capacity. Then SSB, railways, everybody came together just with one motto, one objective, somehow to save the child and reunite the child with the family. Now this was such a beautiful, and there are many more examples like that. Those incidents, when you work, being a senior officer in the government, when you work with the people hand in hand, day in and day out, then a different kind of bond is created, and also a different kind of image which people have a wrong image, that image is broken and lens is changed. Many of us believe that people are selfish and self-centered and they do things only because of their own interest. But when you're into voluntary service, this lens also gets changed. I'll give you one example. Last year in Chennai, we got a message from a family. They had a child of 2.5 years old. He required a medicine which is very critical for epilepsy in children. This medicine was not available. It's an imported medicine, and it was drying up all over the country. Stocks were drying up. So the family was in distress because child was having seizures. So they asked us by a tweet, by a DM, can we help in that? We tried, but no lead was fruitful. Finally, we posted a tweet that if somebody can help this child. And you won't believe, a person from Bangalore, he sent a message that he has a stock for his own daughter who was suffering from the same problem. He said that I can spare part of it for this child in Bangalore. Now this is not a small thing. Sparing or parting with the medicine which you have kept for your own child is a very big thing. You need very large heart for this. And then of course, the another issue was that how to send this medicine from Bangalore to Chennai at quickest possible means, because the child in Chennai was having seizures. I remember Mr. Bhima Shankar, who was DCP Bangalore, he volunteered on his own without even our asking. He sent a special team. The team picked up medicine at 1:30 in the night from Bangalore, traveled all the way to Chennai, and they delivered the medicine to this child in Chennai next day. So this was another thing which made us believe that when you are into a crisis situation, when you are with voluntary organization, when you have the voluntary streak in your heart, you can actually do things which are generally not done by us, all of us. Journey of a volunteer is also a spiritual journey. This is something which I have learned last 1 year. Our team, the young people particularly, I have seen them being very happy, sometimes very sad, for the pain of others, for the joy of others. Like supposingly they are helping some patient, somebody who is in trouble with medicine, with beds, with oxygen, admissions in the hospital, and the person survives, person is recovered. The entire team becomes very happy. Though nobody knows about the person, nobody knows the patient personally, but being happy in others' happiness. And similarly, when with all efforts, you have arranged blood, you have arranged plasma, you have arranged bed, oxygen, but somehow the person expires. This affects all of us, and people feel very sad about this loss. Many times volunteers, they call me and they cry. Young volunteers, they feel emotionally attached, and it's very traumatic for them to see somebody who is they're helping for 3, 4, 5 days and the person has expired. So but I feel that these tears of joy or tears of pain actually cleanse your soul. They make you better human being. This is a journey of spirituality. We believe that service should make you humble and polite, because when you're helping others, sometimes it gives a sense of superiority, sense of pride, that I am the one who is helping, or I have done something. This we deliberately and especially we tell the volunteers not to get into this thing, because this is not good for your own soul. When you are helping others, you should feel more humble, you should feel more polite, and you should thank the universe, thank the God that it has given you a chance, an opportunity to serve the fellow human being and serve others. This is another learning which I have acquired in last 1 year of my journey and the journey of volunteers. At the end, I would like to mention that a few years ago, people used to feel that one needs to be in a position of power, one needs to be an IAS officer, IPS or IFS officer, or you need to have a lot of money to help others. But this has changed. This lens has also changed. Today, our volunteers, most of them, they are students, they are common people, they don't have much of money, they are not in position of power, but they are able to help so many people just by connecting the dots, because they are on social media, they know where the blood is available, they know who requires blood, and just by making a few phone calls, just by tweeting, retweeting, they are able to help so many people. So today with the digital intervention, you don't really need to be very powerful in the traditional term, or don't need to really have money to help others. This is a very big thing for all of us to see that we can help people even without having those kind of resources which were required maybe a few years ago. Lastly, people keep asking me about their career choices. So I used to tell them about traditional, all the popular careers which one should go for. But now I add one more thing, that other than your professional life, you should also devote some time to the community service, to the service of society, service of nation, because this not only it makes you a better human being, it also improves your communication skill, it gives you better life skills, it makes you a better leader, and of course, as I mentioned, it makes you a much better human being. Thank you.